There's a lot of American traditions that are falling by the wayside, but where there's old ones passing away, there's also new ones, like getting enraged, riling up yourself into a frenzy over advertising or commercials. That's a new one.
Go woke, go broke. Just ask Target.
We stand with people who kneel for the national anthem.
That's what I think to you, Gillette.
Should we be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle is making fascist propaganda like?
Yeah, if I didn't know any better, I'd think that they're doing it on purpose.
I will not give my money to a company that insults my very essence by pandering to the misguided Me Too movement. So, I am putting your product and what you stand for where it belongs. Yep, in the garbage.
And they say all production has been offshored. Too soon? I just want to say first though, I'm not a moralist, and if you want to simulate the mass murder of children to sell soap, it's fine by me. But no one got mad about that one. Which is weird, because this is now an American pastime. You should be on it, guys. Should be on it. And America should be proud of being such a passionate, principled people. So principled that you're willing to violently destroy your own property to get back at ad campaigns that have wronged you?
Destroyed piece of garbage.
Burn!
Burn!
Don't want that product ever again in my entire life.
Burn!
Recently there was a skirmish, a culture war skirmish, fought over an ad that depicted eugenicist intent, or so it was said.
Let's talk about eugenics.
Nazi propaganda. That is Nazi propaganda.
And many brave social justice warriors were lost. Although, if you ask me, this was the wrong ad hill to die on, because unlike most ads in America, this ad was finally brave enough to take a stand against eugenics.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Actually, the only way to confuse this for a eugenics ad is if you are blind or illiterate. And that is because this word and this word are homonyms. So just in case you are blind, the words on the screen are genes, G-E-N-E-S, and the other is genes, J-E-A-N-S. Now in semiology, which is a lost art, this is an example of a paradigmatic relation in addition to the two words rhyming and sounding the same. But not only do they sound the same, they can each be substituted one for another, and the sentence still makes sense. The sentence is,
Sidney Sweeney has very keen.
You see what I did there, right?
Now I've always been a big fan of explaining the joke because that's what makes it more funny. I'm also pro-literacy. So in case you need it explained, here's the joke.
Why would I need to do that?
There's a semantic uncertainty produced in the relationship between these two homonyms. And that just means until the end of the ad, you don't know which is meant, and it could be either up until the point that the ambiguity collapses.
My genes are blue.
Sidney Sweeney has very keen.
That's the same ambiguity that makes the punchline to that joke, what's black and white and red all over? It's what makes that ending unexpected. Because there's a subversion of your expectations when you hear it. Though, if you were to read it, it wouldn't land, it wouldn't hit. Similarly, at the end of the ad, the phonetic similarity is disavowed by putting the written word on the screen. And putting the word on the screen eliminates the tension that's existing up until that point between the homonyms.
Sidney Sweeney has very keen.
And we can see here, American Eagle, they chose the high road. The semantic content of genes and genetic is deferred, for about 15 seconds or so, but then it's eliminated. So if you can pay attention for at least that 15 seconds, the ad is going to communicate this, that no matter what your size, eye color, skin color, you too can shop at American Eagle because it's jeans, not jeans that make you hot. So you see, American Eagle here is actually taking a principled stance against eugenics. But let's just entertain if they had gone the other route, if they had done what they're being accused of, and the message of the ad was really intended to be Aryans are genetically superior, and if that were the case, right, there'd be no reason for Aryans to go to American Eagle, would there be? They would already have the genes required. Similarly, there would be no point in non-Aryans going if being hot were simply genetic. So since ads are for getting people to go places and buy things in order to be hot, I mean, I like calling people Nazis as much as the next guy, but you know, they had the chance here. It was just sitting there and they left it on the table. Now, not all ads choose the high road. Not all ads leave it on the table, so to speak. So let's continue the American pastime of getting mad about advertising and look at Lysol.
Our bacteria family's been on this cushion for generations.
All right, kiddos, everybody off the backpack. We made it to the ottoman.
I like to watch them clean, but they'll never get me on the mattress.
Max Cover is another great way to Lysol that.
So Lysol, just for fun, simulates genocide in this ad. Sorry, if you're blind, it says genocide on the screen. Shit, that's not going to help you. Okay, it's the word that means eradicating people because of their genes. The one with the G. No one has started doing genocides based on genes with a J yet. Anyway, where were you? Where were you guys? Where were the social justice warriors when there was a literal, figurative genocide of elderly people, babies, and school-aged people of different colors in this ad? Where were you? Okay, so obviously these are not human children, but they are anthropomorphized as a creative decision. They're explicitly anthropomorphized in order to die screaming. And this makes one ponder, non-moralistically, why? So first here, Lysol depicts the non-productive members of society. It includes an old man and a baby, and the baby has a baby? Oh, no, it's a doll, okay? I think it's a doll. It's a doll. Anyway, they're clearly showing that they are both infirm here, because the baby falls down, so it can't yet walk, and the old man's legs, they're shaking, and he walks with a cane. So what do you think Lysol thinks we should do to them? Next, we have a children's field trip with a diversity of physical compositions and colors. Actually, field trip is probably wrong because, no, these are more accurately immigrants since they have no way of returning home.
Everybody off the backpack.
So yes, scene 2 is a busload of immigrant children with a chaperone. And last here we have a troubled youth. You can tell he's troubled because his hat is sideways, which signifies his refusal to abide by cultural norms. Plus he has an angry grin. Most importantly though, he's drinking a glass of milk. And the glass of milk is of course an homage to the archetypical troubled youth, who's a psychopath, Alex Delarge. You'll remember the main character from A Clockwork Orange. In that film, he and his mates, droogs, always grab a glass of milk from the local milk bar before they break into people's houses, beat, kill, and occasionally rape them. But it's okay, because in the next scene, we see Bacteria Alex unceremoniously eradicated by a woman's hand. It's okay, though. He may have deserved it. He's one of the bad ones. It's possible that he's a murderous, rapist bacteria if he's anything like his milk-drinking inspiration. Still, I'd say he probably deserves a trial in a civil society rather than just being summarily executed. But that's just me. That's just me. Again, I'm moralizing. And wait, okay, now look at this. This smiling woman moves on to the other families of bacteria that we've seen, and we close out the commercial to the mass screams of the previously introduced characters.
Max Cover is another great way.
Again, the infirm, children, and immigrants, and okay, the woman is smiling. So the can claims this is a product that kills bacteria. In the ad, the bacteria are depicted, out of all the options, as people with language, a society, fashion. Some are living in their generational homes but have ceased to be useful, and others are newcomers seeking a future. There's another ad in this series, and no joke, they made this one a cartel member.
I was working for a germ cartel. Orders would trickle down and out contaminated duvet. They start an outbreak in a classroom, you name it. It's only a matter of time. Oh.
So yeah, a majority of this society is living peacefully. There are some bad apples, and the bad apples seemingly justifies culling all of them. Now there is going to be a semiology to the world of an ad. That goes for any ad. And in this particular one, it's desirable for this woman to eradicate a diverse, vibrant community of small colored people because, of course, they are not human. They are bacteria. And bacteria, if you know anything about them, they are parasitic, undesirable, and deserving of extermination, no matter who they are. That includes the dangerous ones for sure, but look, also the wealthy ones, even the babies. And cleaning ads in particular have a long semiological history, a mythological history. And from the start, they have depicted an ancient, irreconcilable conflict over territory between women and germs.
Just when you thought your wash was clean. Germ. Now your wash can be really clean.
Now, women are easily frightened, and advertisers know this. So they use ads to provoke women's particular fears.
You wouldn't let your child eat off a street, yet there could be 60,000 bacteria on every inch of your kitchen table.
Germs, for example, invisibly can make a woman's children sick.
The surfaces in your home can harbor allergens like dust, pollen, and pet dander.
Germs can make a woman's house dirty, and she wouldn't even know because the evil they cause is invisible. Germs can make things smell, and guests might come over and smell the smell and think she is a bad woman. And germs can even make a woman's husband not love her anymore. Yes, this is no lie. I learned this from ads. You might not know this, but in the 50s, if a husband could smell his wife's her purse when he went to open it, then he would just ignore her because there's germs. Now, Lysol, regularly applied to her purse, will make her husband pay attention to her again. Yeah, don't get mad at me. This is the semiology here, and here, and here. It's a whole thing. Other ads throughout this historic territorial dispute will variously depict germs as dirt or invisible evil substances that are made visible, or microscopic, gross, moving animals that are made visible, or ghosts, or even monsters.
Hi, I'm Freddy Coli. I make people sick.
This is actually genuinely interesting. Now, in each case, the ad presents what looks like a regular surface or regular air to the naked eye, and we just have a situation where normal, status quo, nothing to fear. But then, this is the structure of the mythology. The commercial itself reveals what is hidden here, unseen by the naked eye. And how is this revelation accomplished? In every case, it's accomplished by animation. And over time, over this history, the animation improves with technology. These are increasingly resource-intensive computer-generated images. So, here, this looks very scientific, right? As if we are looking through a microscope or something, when of course we know this was made by a digital artist. It still has that scientific veneer though, but this is just about as scientific as this depicting what hell actually looks like. So yeah, we have a mythological world here created by artists, but something changes between here and here. Cleaning commercials stopped trying to scare women with inhuman forces, like aliens and monsters. Now, the source of the fear is just normal people, children who are just looking to have a home and a future. But they have different goals than the women do, and some of them are bad. So since we don't know about their goals, it's best just to cheerfully wipe out their generational lines, and we can literally hear them all die screaming.
Max Cover is another
Because
great...
just in case, you better be careful. Especially the screaming. But the whole concept, it's a little weird, right? Germs are in this most modern iteration. They're no longer scary. They're no longer dirty. In fact, they're babies with dolls and kids on a school trip. But they deserve to die because of who they are. They are germs. Germs are bad. This is woman's final solution to her ancient enmity with germs. And we can't leave even one germ. This is part of the structure of Lysol semiotics. Now, surely not all germs are bad, you might say. Surely there are some good germs. And of course, in the world we live in the world external to the ad, we know there are good germs. In fact, the external world is full of germs that are good. Half of your body is germs that you should not kill. But that truth lies outside the mythology of the Lysol universe. Unfortunately, at some point, Lysol stopped telling women to spray Lysol into their purses, which is a good thing because they were dying. But still, if you watch even a modern Lysol ad, it's never going to say, well, actually fewer than 1% of bacteria make you sick. Because then, the next thing, women aren't scared anymore. And women aren't buying Lysol anymore. And as soon as you start saying, oh, actually, you don't have to purge your entire house of every single microorganism because they aren't ontologically evil, well, that's not going to come up, is it? No. Lysol semiotics is extremist. We need to kill every single one, even the innocent ones. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear this, it brings to mind Heinrich Himmler. Heinrich Himmler had the same worldview as a Lysol ad when it came to purgation. He said this is one of the things that is easily said. The Jewish people are going to be exterminated. Is that easy? That's what every party member says. Sure, it's in our program. Elimination of the Jews. Extermination. It'll be done. And then they all come along, the 80 million worthy Germans, and each one has his decent Jew. Of course, the others are swine, but this one, he's a first-rate Jew. It's terrifying to see what Himmler thinks is a problem that he's identifying here, which is that there's 80 million Germans, and none of them like the Jews, right? But every one of them happens to know a good Jew. Like, oh yeah, there's that Jew at the tennis club, Carl. Yes, we hate Jews, generally speaking, but Carl's fine. Actually, Carl's got a wicked backhand. Now, this attitude is problematic for Himmler, because if everyone knows a good Jew, then shit, where are all the evil Jews? His program is going to have problems here, so his speech goes on. Most of you men know what it's like to see 100 corpses side by side, or 500, or 1,000. Oh, whoa. This is a speech to SS leaders, by the way. Yeah, terrifying. To have stood fast through this, and except for cases of human weakness, to have stayed decent, that has made us hard. This is an unwritten and never to be written page of glory in our history, for we know how difficult it would be for us if we were still to have the Jews in every city as secret saboteurs, agitators, and inciters. There will be no mercy. We had the moral right, we had the duty towards our people to destroy this people that wanted to destroy us. So the moral stakes are rather far apart here. I'm not saying that, don't willfully misinterpret. But at least in structure, it is the same semiology as the Lysol commercial. To solve the problem of the good Jew at the tennis club, you need to remember the secret, scary, abstract Jews. The invisible Jew is the dangerous one, and you can only see him made visible through cartoons and pseudoscience, just like evil, secret, scary, abstract bacteria are also invented by cartoons and pseudoscience. Oh yeah, and it's Himmler himself who aligns these two structures. We do not want, in the end, because we destroyed a bacterium, to be infected by this bacterium and to die. I will never stand by and watch while even a small rotten spot develops or takes hold. Wherever it may form, we will together burn it away. All in all, however, we can say that we have carried out this most difficult of tasks in a spirit of love for our people. Our people, our children. So right, there may be good ones, but don't be distracted. The enemy is not the good ones we see. It's those hidden, abstract, evil, general ones, which must be eradicated for the sake of our children and our future. Okay, so we have an identical semiotic structure in two contexts, which have hopefully very little semantic overlap. And man, I love when this happens, because it says something not about the world out there, but about how we want it to be interpreted. It says something about how meaning works on us, because both of these work, right? This is how Lysol continues to sell spray, and it's how Himmler sells holocausts, and you can bet that it's going to be how the next Holocaust will be sold as well. Is being sold. You know what else they're going to do to prepare for the next Holocaust? They always do it. They're going to get artists' illustrations to depict the danger of an invisible enemy that needs to be exterminated. This is the common aspect of the structure of meaning made by both Lysol and those who want to kill genes. What's communicated in both cases is the same. Number one, the enemy has always been the enemy. Number two, the enemy is everywhere, but you can't see it because it's invisible. And number three, while the enemy exists, your children are in danger. And your children here, think of it metaphorically, it's a metaphor of the future, so your future is in danger. Himmler's mythology and Lysol mythology, they both create mirror worlds where extreme measures no longer seem extreme, they seem necessary. But why should we stop at Nazis and soap? Christianity's hysteria propaganda department has been doing the same thing for thousands of years, from witches to daycares to metal music. Now, we should be at the moral of the story, shouldn't we? But I've been saying, I don't want to moralize. So maybe just wrap it there. Oh shit, sorry, my finger slipped.
If you don't remove the cancer, you're going to be dead. The Palestinians have been fighting us for 100 years, and they teach their children that the greatest duty is to murder as many Jews as they want.
Oh, my bad. Happened again. All right. There's lots more examples.
What I worry about is the threat from within.
Congratulations on making it to the end. If you're interested in my analysis and you want to know more about what semiotics does, which is more of a rigorous discipline than I'm kind of presenting it here, but it interprets meaning variously in mythology, literature, but can be equally applied to trash TV and advertising and Marvel shit. And I explain all that on Patreon, where you deserve to be. Entertain your brain. And it's where all these people already are. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. And anyways, see me soon. We got anything else, guys? We got anything else?
To want to allow 20 million people to run roughshod illegally over the countryside, causing crime.
The left is destroying Western civilization, and it intends to destroy Western civilization. It is not coincidental. It is not a byproduct of leftism. It is the end game of leftism. There is no area of life that it has not played an utterly destructive role.